Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to a new live episode of He Said, a look at the world from a seasoned Black man's perspective. I'm your host, Alvin King. Welcome to another Friday, ladies and gentlemen. How's everyone doing out there? Hopefully, you all are staying cool. These last couple of weeks, has been a scorcher for everybody, but it can get worse. But if you can, do me a favor, take care of yourself, hydrate, and just stay as cool as you possibly can. Well, we are at the halfway point of the year, and next week, next Thursday, is the 4th of July, ladies and gentlemen. And there's a lot of traveling going on this week. And I just want to say to everybody, please be careful if you're traveling. I've heard AAA say that, the roads will be pretty full. And also, if you're a person who likes fireworks, please be smart about it. There are accidents happening where I've seen, communities being burned down. At least, 3 dozen families I've seen lost their homes because someone was playing with fireworks in their home. So please be mindful of that. Keep them away from your kids. Be an adult. Be smart. All right. Well, we are officially at the end of Pride Month, and I have to tell you, it has been off the chain. I don't recall seeing a Pride Month ever that has been this exciting. And I've seen festivities and events all over the place. It has been insanely nice, ladies and gentlemen. And we're also ending the month of June with African American Music Appreciation Month. And it is so fitting to end this month, ladies and gentlemen, on this type of note, because we have a prominent entertainer who's in the LGBTQIA plus community. He's here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, for the art of it. We are welcoming back recording artist, dancer, writer, and award-winning film producer, Marck Angel. He's back here to talk about his new project, SERAPHIM, the motion picture, and the film's director will also be here. Red just won the Best Director at the New Jersey Film Award, ladies and gentlemen. And so, and we have another cast member that will be joining us as well. So we got an exciting show for you tonight. Also, before I bring the guys in, the Olympic trials are going on. And I have to say also, another event that to me is more exciting than it was when they had the last event. We have 28 days from today. It starts on July the 26th through August the 11th in Paris. And there's lots of energy surrounding this year's Olympics. And I just want to point out a couple of folks that are doing some things. For example, Noah Lyles, ladies and gentlemen, track and field star, just won the 100 and the 200 at the finals to make the Olympics. Sha'Carri Richardson, come on now. We all know Sha'Carri. She didn't make the last Olympics, but she has made this one, and she is doing what needs to be done. And I also want to talk about this young man who lives in DC, Quincy Wilson, 16-year-old track star. He is a phenom. He is already a title holder, ladies and gentlemen. He didn't make the Olympics, but he has to beat his own record. Okay, so Quincy, keep doing what you're doing. I heard you're an A+ student. Just keep doing what you're doing. And we have Simone Manuel in swimming. There's not many African Americans that I know of that are in swimming. So I just want to point out that she has won. She's going to the Olympics. Fred Richards in gymnastics. Keep your eye on this, brother. All right. And last but not least, the GOAT. Simone Biles is kicking some behind, ladies and gentlemen, and doing it well. Simone has to outdo all the other Simone Biles flips and dips and all that she's created for herself because nobody else can do them. But I'm all into the Olympics, ladies and gentlemen, and it's just a wonderful, wonderful thing. And last but not least, I want to take this opportunity to recognize a trailblazer in the African-American fashion industry, ladies and gentlemen. A good friend of mine, Renal White, who was the first black male to be on the cover of GQ magazine, to also have the Calvin Klein campaign, and to also have the Ralph Lauren Polo campaign. He just celebrated 50 years in the fashion industry. And in 1979, he burst onto the scene, and he was one of my mentors, ladies and gentlemen. And I got a chance to honor him for the National Association of Black Journalists convention where I honored all the top Black models in America, and he was one of them. And that's one of my proudest achievements, ladies and gentlemen, in this industry. And I'm just sad that he has gone. He was a trailblazer. And if you're in the fashion industry, a model, particularly a Black male, you need to know who he is, ladies and gentlemen. So, okay, it's time for us to get on with the show. Again, we got an action-packed show for you. And I always like bringing my guys in. So if you guys are ready, let's get on with the chat.
Hey.
How you guys doing?
Hey, happy Friday.
Bobby, you got this look, this smile on your face there. I don't know, something's behind that smile. What was going on? Something.
Are you talking about me?
No, I'm talking about Bobby. Yes, you. The other Bobby, yeah.
Well, two things. One, I'm hours away from going on vacation, so I'm really excited about that. I'm very happy. I'm going up to Martha's Vineyard, and I'm excited about that. Mm-hmm. But the other thing, I just really appreciate you mentioning Renaud White. As a young guy who always was interested in fashion, he is a perfect example of how representation matters. I remember seeing him on the front cover of GQ and stopping in my tracks and going like, wait, is there a Black man on the cover of what was then known as the men's fashion Bible, if you will? Yeah. So I just remember seeing him in so many ads and just so may he rest in peace and power, and thank him for breaking that barrier.
He was actually on and off the stage, and, just a great person, no matter how you look at it. And I know models in the industry who another model wouldn't give them a piece of advice if they paid him. He would always be that person to let a model know you could do this or you could do that. Mm. And when I met him and he allowed me to book him for my first show, I knew I had arrived. I said, Alvin, you have arrived. And so I just, and he traveled with me around the world, and just a person who told me about the business and how to prepare myself as a producer in the industry. And so, it was a loss that was kind of hard to deal with on yesterday, but thank you, Bobby. You're absolutely correct. Thank you. Wow. Vosh, how you doing?
Doing all right. I'm just happy that it is no longer 175 degrees outside. Everything else trails off of that. I'm just happy that my insides are not cooking, and dealing with the notion of what is going on with the presidential debates and this new presidential race. That has me stunned.
Vosh. Yesterday, it was at least 30 seconds after it started, and I think I posted on Facebook, will someone bring Joe Biden some water? Okay. That's the first thing I said, bring him some water, Right. Yeah, it was a little, it was hard to watch, and so many missed opportunities in my opinion.
Yeah, it was troubling. Yeah. I think it also speaks a great deal about our nation right now, that out of all the talent that we have in this nation, those are the two options that we have in terms of the highest level of leadership. Mm-hmm.
Our producer referred to one as the devil and one as what was the joke?
the lead guy from A Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah, it's like it was. It was terrible.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Very, very sad. But more shall be revealed.
And someone could lie as consistently as someone was lying and making up things and shifting and avoiding questions, and yet the party can come out. He showed strong, he was there and present. He was reserved. He was presidential. It's like he was lying.
He just said the con man and the old man.
Well,
that's what it was.
Mm-hmm. He was doing what he normally does and what he's always done. So, so again, on that note, for me, I hold Joe Biden had an opportunity to go in, but Joe Biden looked like he was intimidated by him. And that made me cringe. You know what I'm saying? It just made me cringe all over the place. Can I say hi to a couple of folks, guys, before we, Hey, Troy Patterson, thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you, Tammy, for joining us tonight. Sean. And let me see who else. Michi, I think I saw Michi and Kim. Kim, thank you for joining us tonight. I don't think I've ever met you or seen you, Kim. So thank you for joining us tonight. Appreciate you being here. Thank you. Michi said it was an embarrassment that this is all we have to be leaders of the free will. You got it. Hey, Monica.
I think that was supposed to be free world.
Free world. Free world. I got you, Michi. When I'm mad, I mistype some stuff too. I got it. Hey, Monica. So what else is going on in your world?
Well, just in time for the holiday, the July 4th holiday, the water here at the Jersey Shore has become crystal clear and even a little bit more blue. Now, it has some people kind of wondering whether or not the AMOC, which is the Atlantic Meridional Overturning Circulation System, is beginning to collapse based on all the water, fresh water from all the ice that's been melting.
Wow.
So if you guys know what the AMOC is, but warm fresh water rises to the surface, it goes up and travels up to north, and then it gets cold, gets more salt, and it sinks down, and that's what drives the currents on the planet. Well, with this fresh blue clear water coming down from the north and hitting Jersey, people are wondering, is the AMOC finally collapsing, and is that what's causing all of these weird things with the weather? Now, folks in New Jersey and Pennsylvania are trying to say that, oh no, it's just because they've just been doing a couple things with photoplankton blooms, and the winds are just pushing the currents, and that they've been doing all these environmental things to clear the water. So we don't have any definitive answers, but I'm just telling you now, keep an eye out on what's going on the water and what's going on with AMOC, and make sure you have a really great holiday, July 4th.
Oh, well, you know, when it comes to water, if it gets too close to the bottom of my swimming trunks, it's too close. Okay, so I don't even get in because to see that blue water on the Jersey Shore.
Oh my God,
that's a big no. That's a red flag for me.
That's funny, but only Bosch could have brought us that story.
Of course. Beware, everybody.
And of course, going in a very, very different direction. I wanted to just make sure that you guys had heard about this really, really weird story I ran across the other day. It's the story of a former executive assistant of a tech CEO who was found decapitated in a Manhattan apartment in 2020, and he's been found. His executive assistant was convicted of his murder. So I'm going to read this because I want you to keep track of this. The former executive assistant of a tech CEO was found guilty Monday of murdering his boss, whom he then decapitated and dismembered in 2020. Now, the prosecutors are saying that Tyrese Haspel, who is 25, that's him here, killed Fahim Saleh, 33, to prevent him from learning Haspel had embezzled about $400,000 from the venture capitalist and the CEO of Gatka, a Nigerian motorcycle ride share company. So his executive assistant had been embezzling money. He had been caught initially, had promised to pay the person back, and then found out, the CEO found out that he was still embezzling money, even after he had said that he had stopped, and he was going to report him. And so on July 13th in 2020, Haspel followed Saleh into his Lower East Side condo, tased him in the back, and stabbed him multiple times. The next day, he returned to the apartment to dismember the body and clean up the crime scene. It is unfreaking believable.
This is somebody that I would see standing next to me in Subway. Okay? And to think that you could actually cut someone's head off?
Dismember them. But the question is, would fear drive someone to that degree? Like, you look at this guy, you certainly wouldn't think that he would have the capacity to do that. But was he so afraid that what his life was going to be like as a result of being caught in this embezzlement, that he would, imagine tasing somebody in the back, taking them down, and then going, because to dismember a body is not an easy thing to do.
Police do it all the time.
Bosch has told me several times that it was difficult when he was attempting to do that. But
police, tasing someone is tasing someone. Right. Disfiguring them is something different. And Troy, don't think I didn't see you about that swimming trunk statement. Right. Okay. Right. Don't think I didn't see it because I saw that. No, and we can keep going. I saw.
Luckily, you are correct, Troy.
I saw that. Hey, Derwin, how you doing, Stephanie? Yeah, people are crazy. That is ludicrous. But I'm glad they got him because
hey, Derwin, it's sad.
that is
sad. But again, it happened in 20, and it took 4 years, but they finally got him. DNA got him down.
Wow.
His girlfriend doesn't think he did it though.
She does not.
She probably has 100,000.
I wonder if she helped him. Well, wow, that's just absolutely a step.
It's really sad though, when you think about it. Though. 33 years old and you are murdered and decapitated because somebody was stealing money. It's sad. It's very sad. But
well, thank God his family has some kind of peace, closure. They know who it is,
and hopefully that person will be held accountable.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes,
and not given total immunity like someone else we know is asking. So.
See, why you get ready to drink the Kool-Aid? Don't do it.
Okay, all right.
So
I digress.
We're going to take a moment and honor Elin Harris, whose birthday was June 20th. Harris was born in Flint, Michigan in 1955, and he became one of the most influential authors, creating stories about gay, bi, and polyamorous Black people. Because of Harris, terminology and behaviors were exposed and conversations were able to be had around sex, around love, sexuality, and more. And we also learned that the Invisible Life trilogy is being adapted for television at HBO. That story follows a young Black man's journey of sexual discovery as he realizes he is gay. So Harris has touched many, many lives with his work. Have you guys been affected or impacted by Elin Harris?
Oh my God, yes. I mean, who is not a proud LGBTQIA card carrying member that has not been affected by Elin Harris's work? And little the straight community might not know this, but it was Elin Harris's book and work that gave you all the definition or term DL. He was the one who dropped that dime on the world, and everyone was like, DL, is that Donnell Lewis? No, it's down low. Okay. Elin Harris is, he was he is the fragment of my life. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I will say that he, just like Ronald White, broke a ceiling.
Yeah.
Elin Harris's books were, for me, the first time I saw representation of my life in a literary form in that way. That wasn't something that was, far and distant and so forth. Like, I read those characters and I felt like I knew a lot of those characters. And I was very, very fortunate to have a friend who lived in Atlanta at the time when Elin Harris first came out with Invisible Life. And he published it himself, and he was selling it literally out of the trunk of his car. Yeah. And one of my friends actually I have one of the original Elin Harris books that was sold out of the trunk of that car. And I saw him in a book signing, and I took it for him to see it. And he got emotional seeing it because he hadn't seen one in a really, really, really long time. But I thank him for not only representing my own experience and the experiences of those that I love, but as you said, Alvin, really introducing a great population of heterosexual people to aspects of Black gay life and the maneuvering of our world.
He did. That was, Vosh, thank you for acknowledging Elin Harris tonight. And it's actually, it's really in line with, our special guest tonight, because where Elin Harris did it through books, you know what I'm saying? Our special guest is doing it through music and film. And so it's such a, and this is, he's our special guest, and I'm going to introduce him, ladies and gentlemen, but he's a part of the new generation, who are telling stories about the LGBTQIA plus experience and doing it in a way that, wow, that's gaining attention. So thank you, Vosh.
Absolutely. And he's doing it from a place of, I don't even want to say pride, a place of just being, right? Like, there's no, I've got to do it this way so I fit in. He's just like, here I am, and here is the story, and that's all there is. It's amazing that this is where we are now with our people, partially because of Elin Harris, partially because of just the chutzpah that this young man has.
Wow. Well, you know what? Please look. I had a whole introduction, but we just went and laid it out for our special guest. But I'm going to give you all a little piece of who he is. That was really good, and we didn't even plan that.
Yep.
Our special guest, evoking the charismatic timbre of the Jacksons with a splash of urban pop. Marck Angel is a true multi-hyphenate music artist whose soft yet skilled counter-tenor vocals are only matched by his talents for songwriting and producing. And if that's not enough, he's got an electrifying dose of choreography, and I've seen it, to add to his palatable agenda. Born and raised in Queens, New York, Angel credits a melting pot of influences such as Michael Jackson, Janet Jackson, Tevin Campbell, Ralph Tresvant, El DeBarge, and Marvin Gaye. The impact of these multi-talented artists have helped to generate Angel's diverse interests in dancing at the age of 2, singing at the age of 4, and writing songs at the age of 10, and now producing them at 16. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back to the He Said stage, Marck Angel.
Yay!
He's like, hey, how y'all doing?
Guys, how are you? Again.
How are you? Because you've been busy.
I've been busy. We've been busy. The entire project has been keeping us crazy, but in a good way. So,
Well,
thank you for having us.
Welcome back. I want to start off, aside from the 3 introductions that you just got, I want to say, first of all, congratulations. Since you left us in December of 23, you were a semi-finalist for the Flicker's Rhode Island International Film Festival for Best Music Video, an award winner at the Cannes Short Film Festival for Best Music Video, and the winner of the Best Actor, and your director has won the Best Director Award at the New Jersey Film Festival, all for SERAPHIM, the motion picture. Okay, can we? Okay, so my first question. Okay, before we begin our conversation with you, can you just briefly tell our viewers, give us a synopsis of SERAPHIM, the motion picture?
Well, SERAPHIM started with an album that we put out in 2022. And the idea was to release the album, then release some singles and some anthological music videos, and then eventually take those anthological music videos and arc them into a full featured film. It was originally supposed to be a short. And then the album fleshed out, and I was like, no, I think we could do a full feature film. And everybody looked at me like I was crazy, but we did it. So it turned out to be a full feature film. And so we arced these anthological music videos with a storyline, with acting and dramatic sequences. So we have a full beginning, middle, and an end. And it's a musical romance drama that's based around 2 lovers that are trying to requite their love in Brooklyn, New York. They're trying to requite their love because they've broken up. So we center in on a day in the life of them, their trek of trying to get back together. And as they're trying to get back together, they run into an antagonist from the past played by Donnie E. Thomas, who plays the Jen character. And then they have to also deal with the socially conscious, cultural, turbulent, political craziness that we live in, post 2020. So it's combined with wonderful music, award-winning music, choreography. Red directed it with her amazing eye. Meech helped me choreograph it. So if you like Rhythmation 1814 film short, or Beyonce's Lemonade, or Michael Jackson's Moonwalker, Todrick also did Straight Outta Oz. If you like sort of that experimental art house, avant-garde, sort of non-linear short film, a long film now, then SERAPHIM the motion picture is for you. Yeah.
Thank you. All right. You all heard it, and we'll be sharing where you can get that as well, ladies and gentlemen. Okay.
So you mentioned a couple of those different artists who had experimented with this type of mixture of genre. But then you took it to a much longer version. What led you to believe that this was the route that you wanted to go with this music and this film, combining them in this way?
It wasn't. The album was supposed to originally come out in 2020, but then COVID hit. So we had started shooting some of the stuff, and it just so happened that with the time of COVID in there, bittersweetly, it was like, no, let's really flesh this out and let's really get it there. I've never seen anybody do it in regards to putting it to a full feature film in regards to openly Black queer artists into movie theaters. So it's just an opportunity to say, well, I don't, has anybody else done this? Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. So, I mean, if I'm missing anybody, then, you know, please let me know. But in regards to, you know, Black queer musicals, there's not many of them. So it was an opportunity just to do something, and also to speak to the movement. You know, the film, outside of the awards and all the hoopla and stuff like that, it's impacting people as people are leaving the theaters with at least a moment of higher consciousness, because we're in a real retrograde of higher consciousness right now on this planet. So I'm glad that regardless of it being a Black-centered film, a queer-centered film, that it's reaching audiences that go outside of that spectrum. So
thank you.
Got it.
Yeah.
By the way, I love it. I love it. By the way, I love it. Okay. By the way, I wish we had time to air clips, but we're going to provide them for our guests. And even promoting the show, I placed your clips from the movie onto our promo. So congratulations again, Mark.
Thank you.
And thank you for giving us the access to it, enjoying it. Yes.
Yes. Also, yeah, because the link. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot to it. It is quite the journey. How much of it is based on your own life?
I think everything I do is based on real life. I wouldn't do it if it didn't. I'm one of those artists that I experience life and then I try to distill it through my song and dance, and now I guess through film. I'm stuck on the question because there's so much to think about. I'm like thinking about so much at one time. So wait, repeat the question again.
how much of Seraphim the
like I'm thinking of some hard time. Like I get a little verklempt because when people ask me that, because I think about the hard times in my life that have kind of made this album and the beautiful times that have made this album. You know, I grew up in the 80s and 90s with, you know, playing in the playground with the crack files and the drug dealers. You know, you have family that's drug dealers and that's which is part of the movie, and that are in that sort of thug life. So it's part of that is in there outside of the music. The love is in there. People ask me like, who is this about? It's about a little piece of all of the romantic men that I have experienced in my life. It's a little bit of them in all of them, where, you know, you're in a situation where you're just trying to get things right, and the forces that be prevent you from making it right. So I don't want to get emotional, but yeah. So all of that is in there. You know what I mean? And I think about what it took to make it as well. Everything that was going on. I was out of work when this was going on. You know, I lost my car. You know, we burnt through drives. COVID was happening. So when I think about it, when you ask me that question, I think about it, it's like, gosh, you went through so much to get this movie done. So it's more than just the storyline that has my life in it. It's the actual production and thinking of what we went through that has, you know, it in it as well. So, and I hope I didn't mean to get a little emotional. I'm sorry.
No. You better bring that in. I actually felt what you were saying. So no, it made sense. I connected to what you were saying and how you got to where you are with making this. It was coming from your heart. Mm-hmm. And I'm getting emotional about you getting emotional. Okay.
Yeah. 95, you know, we do this because we love it.
Yeah.
So, you know, all the love and all the family and yeah, it's incredible. It's incredible. And then being able to take the socially conscious and community outreach side and branching it even farther. I know you'll probably talk about it later, but we had the premiere in DC and it was a charity event. None of that money came to Marck Angel or Trademark or anything like that. Every single red cent went to a nonprofit organization called One More Plate that helps to feed the homeless here in the DMV area. So seeing that song and dance and art and film can actualize an impact, and not just a mental impact, but like a physical impact in our community, has been the real reward, and it's been just a great ride. So, and hopefully we'll do more.
Well, thank you. Well, I want to dive a little bit deeper in the film, but in order to do that, I need to bring up, because it takes a village to do everything that you've done. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to bring on to the stage the film's director, ladies and gentlemen. So, if we could bring Red onto the stage, let's do that. Hi, Red.
She's not in the streak. She has the baby.
She's muted.
We can't hear you, Red.
Tell her she's muted.
There you go. Sorry, guys.
Hi, Red.
How you doing?
Did you say you're a new mom?
I am recently a new mom. I was already a mom, but I just had another one.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
He was just screaming in the car, so I had to hop out.
Well, congratulations. Thank you for being here.
Thank
Red,
you.
First of all, congratulations on your award for Best Director for SERAPHIM, the motion picture. Look, you got a baby. I'm gonna get on to the question, because look, so let me ask. This is for you and Mark. How did you two? What was the process and the main vision that you guys had for conceptualizing, SERAPHIM, the motion picture? How did you two come together?
Well, Mark and I, we've been working together for quite some time. So I think it was only natural for him to reach out to me for this particular project. I don't like taking any of the credit for the storyline. That was all Mark. But he laid it out for me, and every time we shot, he would tell me, this is what the scene is going to be. And then he just trusted that I would shoot it correctly, right? So it was like the visual is all me, but the substance was all Mark. So it was a nice collaboration between the two of us.
Well,
and
clearly,
a long time. So it's like all the videos over the years we've had a lot of practice. So she's able to kind of like, I wanted to feel like it's chocolate, and so she'll be able to be like, make it happen. You know what I'm saying? I'll be like, can you point it and make it wide? And she already knows kind of what to do. And if you notice in the film, she's so good that she's learning our moves backwards in reverse, so that because she has a very guerrilla sort of kamikaze style. So when we're doing our moves, she's literally hand holding and moving the camera to our moves. So she's out there. I love you. I love you, Red. Just
I love it. I got a question for you, Red. But first, I want to know, where are you? I'm loving it. What streets are you walking?
Well, you got Wi-Fi.
I'm in the middle of downtown Brooklyn.
Come on, New York.
Back here.
Come on.
A lot of people outside. So yeah, my Instagram name is Red NYC for a reason.
NYC, I love it. I love it. Well, Red is in the streets, people. She's coming to us from the streets.
Always out here.
So Mark was talking a little bit about that guerrilla style technique and so forth. As a director, obviously you are directing the entire cast and crew and choosing locations and editing and all of that. Tell us a little bit about the technique that goes into that, the secret of making it all flow and come together.
Yeah, I'm one of those people where like I work with what's put in front of me, right? So we could shoot anywhere. Mark could tell me we're shooting in a closet, we're shooting in a garage, and we're always going to make it look the way it needs to look. And literally with this project, I think we did shoot outside in a garage.
Yes,
and you wouldn't know it, right? So
and in a basement, in a cellar basement. Yeah,
yeah, right. We were in a basement, and like it's just me, my camera, and like 2 lights, and that's it. And we make it happen.
Well, it's visually beautiful. I have to tell you, it's visually beautiful.
That was the words that Vosh used when I asked him. I said, "Did you see the film?" And he said, "Yes, it is visually beautiful." Those were the words Vosh said to me.
Exactly. I mean, it for people who are listening and watching us now, the thing that you're going to say when you first start to watch this film, and as you watch it all the way through, is it is such a beautiful film. The way that it's shot, the resolution, the quality, the angles, everything. It really does it harks back to old Hollywood films where things were really about giving you beautiful shots that take you through the story. The camera person, Red, you're another character in the story, and I thoroughly appreciated that.
Amen. Amen.
No, thank you so much. And again, I'm really proud to be a part of the project. It was amazing to see it at the premiere in New York. I mean,
She didn't see it. She didn't.
yeah, I hadn't seen it. And just like seeing the finished product all put together and the credits and everything was really amazing. And if I could just toss out I do have a favorite scene that I shot in the film.
Okay.
Okay. This is new to me.
The intimate scene, I'll say that, because I had no idea what I was going to do there.
It's which scene?
The intimate scene.
The intimate scene.
I thought that's what you said.
I thought that. Yeah, that's what I thought she said too. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
because there has to be like a certain level of comfortability between the director and the people in front of the camera, right? And I was super comfortable with both of them, and I wanted them to give 100%, which they did. But we wanted to keep it tasteful, right?
I was gonna say 110%, but
just enough, but not too much. And I think that we nailed that,
Yeah, it was done very tastefully.
And not everybody can shoot people of color, like lighting and all. Like it is not a given. So
that was very important to me, like the lighting for that particular scene, because they both have this beautiful brown skin, right?
Yeah,
and you want to show that, and you want to color it properly. And man, I'm telling you, when I looked at the finished product, I was like, yeah, we did that. Like I'm not even trying to, but we did that.
Yeah. And thank you, Dwight Allen O'Neill, for the cocoa butter skin makeup. Like we were so nice and golden. Yeah.
And so even it was beautiful. Like, I mean, truly, the music's great, the choreography's great. Like I said, the cinematography and just the look and the vibe. It was like when Waiting to Exhale came out and everyone was like, oh my gosh, did you see how they shot those women, how they look good? You guys did the exact same thing. Well, I have a question. How long does it take to do a feature-length film like this?
You want this one? I want this one.
Go ahead, you can take it, Mark.
So before we decided to do a movie, we did the first cut from the album entitled Maybe. Had no idea we were going to do a full feature film. That was in 2018, 19, like right when we started. So I had no idea. I knew I wanted to do a socially conscious film, but I didn't know how many songs. So by the time the album was fully being recorded, I was like, oh, we got a lot of songs here. Then COVID happened, 2020, right? Album was supposed to come out, didn't happen. So we shot a lot before COVID in that 2020, 2019 period. And then we had to take a big break during COVID. We skipped in a couple of times just to a couple of cancellations. New baby Cairo was trying to get here, married too. It was a lot going on. So we weren't able to do a lot. So we had to skip a lot. But when I added up like the hours of shooting, it was approximately like 10 days.
Okay.
10 days over like 4 or 5 years. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And then the editing piece of it, we had to stop because Cairo was all along the way. And I went to Brooklyn and I said, hey girl, let me get this hard drive.
I had to turn everything over to him because it was really hard. Like my wife, she ended up having a baby early. So like I was just going through a lot because like you said, we've been doing this for years. It was like an ongoing project. And then right towards the end, my son was about to be born. So he came, he picked up the hard drive and he did what he needed to do with what we had.
Yeah. Yep. And we came out with the 72 minutes and that was it. But because Red, even like the scenes, like she didn't see all of the shots with the aerial shots and stuff like that because I hired other people to shoot those shots, and license other people to shoot those shots so that we could incorporate it and make it seamless. So it was a lot of work. Yeah, and a lot of wonderful people that just put their spin on it. And thank God for YouTube University and the Institute of Google, because I would not have known how to do a pence of that stuff. I had to literally study and learn how to do it. Yeah.
The Institute of Google. We all are in class. Okay.
And hey, Red, you know how to do this? What was that overlay that you used? And help me.
That's truth. He would literally be like, oh, what's that plugin? What's this? Yeah. So yeah, it was really collaborative between the two of us.
Yeah.
Well, I wanna ask you this question. We were going to have. I was hoping that your principal dancer would be here, but I'm going to ask you and Red this question tonight because with all the filming and everything that you had to do, it is very choreography heavy. And choreography isn't just about dance. It's that intimate scene also. I mean, it's just a lot. So how did you all combine all the music, the choreography, and the staging and all that? What was that process like? And was it lengthy or was it pieced? How did that work for all of you?
You and me, Red. Oh, me. I know, because
she's like, that's on you.
Well, wearing the producer's hat, you kind of have to see the full spectrum even before it begins. So I knew that I wanted to do a short film. So I kind of had an idea of what it was supposed to be about. But then it's just being adaptive as you go along. And you see, oh, no, we can do more. We can do more. We still got more time before the project comes out. So in that time period, I was just able to think of a lot more ideas in order to bring it together, because Justice was done. And I was like, hey, Red, we need something else. We need one more thing. And I think that was the cellar shot. We were in the basement. So there are things you can have along the way, but if you take time with the project and nurture it, it comes out. I watched a lot. I watched Love Jones. I watched Poetic Justice. I watched Brown Sugar. I watched actually me and Dante, because to lead up to it, me and Dante lived together. Dante Hensley, who plays the character in the film, my love interest in the film, we lived together for 4 months and screenplayed. We watched every romantic movie we could. We watched every musical we could. We watched West Side. We watched Annie. So a lot of those shots that you're seeing where we're moving, I would send it to Red and be like, hey, this is Janet Jackson's knowledge. I mean, she already knows it, but can we emulate this? Or this is the scene in Hard Knock Life that I want us to jump down and flip and the camera moves this way. And she would be able to be like, yeah, I think we can kind of recreate that and make it our own. So it's a culmination of different pieces that come together, and you in pre, and then you have to adapt along the way. So,
also, and just to add to that, like there's a portion in the film where my second favorite part is the music video for Up. I absolutely love it. And Mark had one of his friends was like taking behind the scenes while I was shooting the footage, and I love that actually made it into the edit. Like he was like, oh, here, take this footage, put this
iPhone,
and you actually get to see me in action. So I felt like, oh, I'm actually part of the film. Like you get to see me for a second, but like it was so organic, right? Because it's not this big film crew; it's just me and the guys, right? And it was really cool to see. And there's a part where like his buckle popped off of his pants, and that really happened. And I filmed him go, they fixed his buckle, and then he jumped right back into the dance routine. And that was just so cool to like catch on film. And we decided to leave it in because again, it was really organic.
Love it.
It's a true sign of a consummate professional. Buckle off, pull it back together, and get back in there. That's what I'm talking.
Like we're gonna keep it moving. We're not even gonna stop. We're just gonna keep going.
Perfection.
Mark, you mentioned earlier the number of songs that you had and so forth. So what was the process of then choosing which songs would actually make the soundtrack for the film?
Well, for the album, I wrote like 35 songs. We came down to 14. Red actually produced one of the songs, the Showstopper song, and rapped on it. You rapped on it. Yes, you rapped on it. So we took the 14 songs, and each one of the songs in some way, shape, or form, whether it's instrumental, whether it's the intro piece, whether it's a reinterpolation or reprise, is in the movie. You hear all 14 songs in that film. You just probably don't realize it because it's seamless. It's kind of seamless. So all 14 songs are in the film.
Wow.
It was just trying to figure out. We already knew what the singles were pretty much going to be, so that was a little easier. In regards to the emotions of the scene, I think the album has so many different genres on it, because we do rock, we do pop, we do hip hop, we do soul, we got opera, classical, we got all this stuff, folk, on the album interchangeably. So it was easy to find the different moods because we had so many different moods on the album. Yeah.
It's beautiful. I love it. I love every bit of it. I can't wait till you all see it. Okay. I can't wait.
It really is important. Working on projects, a lot of the success happens in the casting. What was your casting process like, and how did you end up finally casting your co-star Dante?
Because you did say you all were roommates, didn't you say that?
Well, we lived together for the film, so like okay. Like, hey, if we're gonna do this, we gotta do this right. And I think that because some of the scenes were so intimate, me as a person, I needed to have a certain level of vulnerability, and so did he. So just being together all the time and watching the films and studying and going and partying and hanging out, being family and friends, it just brought that level of intimacy. So I met Dante Hensley on another production that wasn't mine. I was just, helping out. And I remember that he was a film guy, and I always keep people who I think are shining lights, in my mental Rolodex. And I said, one day maybe we'll do something. He was like, sure, whatever. 2018 came along, the Maybe video was coming up. You always got to have hot guys in your videos, right? So I called him up. I said, hey, would you mind doing this? Absolutely. Came, we shot that video in the W Hotel in Manhattan. Thank you, budget.
Yeah, that was the first time I had to it was nude. They were nude, right?
Yeah.
But we were all comfortable and it was super professional, right? I think there were socks involved, but it was a lot of fun.
So fast forward. Maybe wasn't supposed to be a part of the SERAPHIM quote unquote era, but then it had 4 million views on the video. Thank you, Red. Mm-hmm. And put my nose on the YouTube video. And so the team was just like, B, you better put this single and video in this film. So that's when it became fully part of the album. I called up Dante and was like, hey, we have an idea for a movie. You down? Absolutely. Came and stayed here for 4 months, traveling up and down from here to New York, and script readings, rehearsals, just the vibe of getting the vibe of the team. So it was a no-brainer. And once we were on set, really in Maybe, the chemistry was pretty much instant. Like we were even like, oh snap, whoa, yeah. So yeah, and here we are.
Which transitions quite well.
It's a great pairing. It's a great pairing. Okay.
Which transitions well to my question.
you think of the Love Jones and Poetic Justice, and let me not forget Noah's Ark. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And the couple from Pose, and you try to find what it is in those projects that made people want to root for them, made people want to invest in them and say, yeah, we want these two to make it for the time that they're in the theater, to, in the escapism of it. So, yeah. And then Donnie E. Thomas, I don't want to leave him out. He plays the antagonist in the film. He's actually one of my best friends, one of the co-producers of the SERAPHIM album as well, helped me write some stuff and formulate some ideas. And he's actually a stage actor as well. So, yeah. And that's pretty much the main cast. And then the dancers, I found the dancers as well. Just over time, working with Meech White, who was the lead choreographer, Doc Renaissance, and the rest of the crew. Yeah, it's just me meeting people over the 10, 15 years that I've been doing this.
Nice.
Well, we've made several references to those very steamy scenes in the film and so forth that were so beautifully shot. We've all certainly watched Hollywood couples and sparks fly as a result of some of those types of films, scenes being filmed. Just out of curiosity, were there any sparks that flew as a result of some of those scenes? You don't have to tell evereverybody. Just tell me and all the listeners on He Said.
Yeah, just tell us, And
just tell you, just tell you.
Yeah.
We got that all the time, and we still get that today. And mind you, it's not annoying. It's not a thing. I don't want to like him. I mean, he's beautiful,
Chemistry was palpable.
I think that he's just a friend that's really special, and especially during that time. And that level of vulnerability is only with certain people in my life, and he just happens to be one of those people. And so it comes across as other than platonic, but no, we're just friends. Yeah. So I'll say that.
Okay. Thank you very much.
They were very, very professional on set. As soon as it was I usually say, okay, I got it. And then they'll just stop. So it was very professional.
Well, again, not everybody can shoot us, but it was beautifully shot.
But you know, that's testimony. I'm glad that the performances came through that you would think that's so good.
Oh, yeah. Well, we connected very well. Well, Mark and Red, first of all, Mark, thank you. Congratulations and thank you again for coming back, because we've actually seen you grow through this. You told us what you were going to do, and you did exactly what you said you were going to do. So kudos to you on that for being consistent. Red, thank you for taking the time out of your day and showing up. This is the first time that we've had an interview and the person was like, I mean, really on set, like outside of a studio, so on the street. So thank you so much. And you came across so well. So congratulations to both of you for being here today. Mark, do not go away. I know you probably have to leave, Red, but we're going to bring you back, Mark, before we close. But Red, congratulations. So stay in touch with he said, okay?
Of course, thank you for having me.
I'm bringing you your award this weekend if it gets here by tomorrow.
And congratulations again.
All right, thank you guys.
Take care. All right, Mark, thank you. We're going to bring you back, Mark, in a few minutes. Thank you. Thank you. That was pretty good. I love that. That was
live and from the streets. I loved it.
Live is live, no matter how you look at it. I just want to see if there's some folks that came in here. JJ, how you doing? I think William Candelaria came in. William, thank you for joining us tonight, and for being here with us. Ladies and gentlemen, next week, but before we bring Mark back and we do our closing, next week on July the 5th, we will show a previously aired episode. As Bobby mentioned, he's going to be off on some island in Martha's Vineyard with eating strawberries, so he won't be here.
Lobster rolls.
So we will have a previously aired show next week, and we will be back on Friday, July the 12th with a live show with Dr. Raphael Hagens. He's the author of a new book, Losing What I Never Had, Uncovering My Authentic Self. And you all don't want to miss that. I'm not going to tell you all about that, but that is a show that you definitely don't want to miss. He's going to have a lot to tell. Ladies and gentlemen, you know, I'm about to sound like Joe Biden. Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 years of doing this show, I mean, consistently, I honestly don't know anything particular about birth and babies, but when I decided to come up with this vision and birth this vision, the person who was standing inside of the maternity ward was Vash Bodhi. Okay, he was the first person that I called after I basically trolled his page and saw how he talked, looked, laughed. Whatever he did, I trolled him until I asked him, would he come on and be a part of the vision? And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the last show that Vash will be on. He said tonight. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Vash, and give you the stage and make us all say step.
It is very tough to have this be my last show, but he said, Alvin, you created a show that allowed seasoned Black men to come together and talk about what was going on, and not only in their lives in the world, but then to introduce and bring in other people to talk about things. And I knew, because I was able to be here, because I was in Philadelphia, I was able to participate because I was here. And I knew that eventually that would come to an end. And that's what's happening. I'm finally leaving Philadelphia after being here to, look after my mom and take care of family business. And that journey is continuing on. And I'm not going to be in a place where I know every Friday I will be able to join you. So it made the most sense to make this my last show until our paths can cross again. I have had so much fun with you, Alvin and Bobby, and it is
and Bobby a little bit.
It's just been a joy to get together and talk about things from a very real perspective and to just be myself. It's not often that we get to do that every single week, sometimes twice a week, and just get together with people, say what's on our mind, and know that it's going to be received, explored, appreciated, challenged, etc. So it's been the best 3 years, and I hope whoever comes in after me one, that they continue to tease Bobby, and then two, that they just continue to add and enrich the conversations to elevate us all, because he said deserves that.
Thank you. Bobby, did you want to say something? Did you want to... I'm sorry.
He makes it so difficult. You know, it's like having a brother that, you know, it's like no one else better talk about you, but their job is to just make you miserable and just to like, you know, but for all the under the breath, all the, you know, again, I think as someone who watched the show and then had the opportunity to join it, I think one of the greatest compliments still is the notion and the surprise that people express when they hear that we have only been in shared company one time. And that's when we did the show live from Philadelphia. I think it's a true testament. I feel grateful to have had the opportunity to join what I saw was a very successful and enjoyable expression of my story. And, you know, I'll deny it till I fall out, you know, the joy that has come from working with you, Vosh, on this program. And, you know, I'm sure it's documented now, obviously, but I'll say it's a deep fake. So I will, you know, go down to my grave saying, I hated the guy and I'm glad he's gone. So yeah. Well, I'll miss you. I'll miss you. Seriously, you know that. I'll miss you.
I will miss you too.
I'm just going to quickly close and say thank you. Because a lot of people see our show and they think that, wow, you guys must have, you know, a gazillion people working back there. You know, we came on, thank God for an excellent producer. We came on and it was, my vision was fulfilled. It was refined. And all I could see as we did each new episode that we could get better and better and better. And the only way I could do that was to have, you know, a village that one believed in the vision, was not quiet about what they wanted, was not, you know, we met and we discussed what we were going to say, how we were going to approach our viewers. And I could not have done all of that alone. And so, Vosh, you will be terribly missed after 4 other He Said panel members. And we finally lucked up and got Bobby. I mean, you're going to be missed. And so
you said that 3 times is enough. He'll be missed.
Thank you again. Thank you. So if we could, hello Don, hello Kendall, hello Mannequin.
That's Judy. Hi Judy.
Hi Judy. I was supposed to call you. Hi Judy. So we could bring Mark back to the stage, ladies and gentlemen. And you all can send Vosh all the well wishes on he said live@gmail.com, or go to any of our social media pages. He said live on IG or Instagram. Oh, that is Instagram. IG.
And you'll be able to find him on America's Wanted posters all across.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
I gotta get him. It's my last chance.
Your last chance.
Don't do it.
It's love. It's love.
Our words of the week, and I really struggle with this one, but it does have it does mean something. The only BS I need in my life right now is beach and sunshine.
Hallelujah.
Okay.
It's summer.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wish you all a great week, a great 4th of July. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Mark, for being here. I mean, you know how we feel about you. You're truly family. So thank you. And we look forward to seeing you guys live again on the next episode of He Said. That's your last He Said. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Bye-bye.